Alright, and 3, 2, 1. Hello, YouTube. This is Cody with Search My Deck TCG. Today we are bringing you another Pokemon V card preview. I guess V. All the cards I looked at so far are V, though. But I digress. We're bringing you the next card preview, and today we are looking at your boy Charizard V, and more specifically Charizard Vmax. I originally wasn't sure what Pokemon to look at. I'm not the biggest fan of Charizard, just overdone at this point, which I feel like a lot of people feel. But some people really like them, have the nostalgia for him, or they just like his classic, fire-breathing dragon-like design, even though he's not a dragon. And that's fair. If you like Charizard, more power to you. However, I know that people like Charizard, and this card is definitely halfway decent. So much better than the card I looked at last video, or whatever order these come up in. And so we'll take a look. This is probably be shorter because there's not that much special to Charizard. But anyway, to the point. Let's look at the boy. First, we'll take just Charizard V real quick. 220 hit points, 3 retreat costs. The attack's not bad. There's 220 for 4, and it discards 2 from itself. In a pinch, it's fine. 220 knocks out most other Vs right now, basic Vs, and anything that's not a tag team GX. So like it's definitely could be worse. I mean, the 3 in the first tag actually might even be better. 80 for 3 colorless. Just thinking if you go second, Welder first turn. I mean, you can donk. You can definitely get some donks if you're playing this deck. So not the worst thing ever. You can donk off Jirachis or other basic baby Pokemon that mostly probably killing Jirachis with this, but it's definitely not bad. Nothing like taking a prize turn 1 if you need to. And plus the look is really cool with the stadium in the background. I like it. Moving on to the big boy himself, Charizard Vmax, 330 hit points. 100 for 3 colorless, and the big attack is 3 fire, 2 colorless, to 300 and discard 2. So it's big boy damage. It's a pretty typical Charizard attack, which he actually hasn't had. It's been a couple Charizard cards since he had one that discards energy from him. That was kind of his thing for a while. Most fire, but especially Charizard, he did a lot of damage and discarded a lot of energy. And so it only just discards 2 though. And so it's really not bad. You can easily attack back with Welder the next turn. Or I guess the other card we're going to look at in a second I didn't pull up, but we'll get to it. So yeah, obviously you're playing this with Welder. This is a fire deck. Oh, Welder, you don't want to show up? There you go. This is a fire deck. Welder. Attach 2 fire, draw 3 cards. You can get it powered up in 2 turns. So it's that anything with Welder is gonna be good because may not be, and not every fire V is good. But this does a lot of damage. 300 knocks out everything in the format at the moment. That's not a another VMAX. It won't be. It looks like I don't know, at the moment, and I think we've seen most of our Rebellion Clash. There is no way that Charizard can boost his damage outside of obviously Vitality Belt, so it looks like you're stuck at 310. But also currently not a lot of VMAXs are played. We'll see. There's quite a bit of good ones in Rebellion Clash. I think that will change. I think we're starting seeing some VMAXs getting played in Standard, but currently in current Standard, there's basically none of the major tier 1 to 2 decks are with any VMAXs. So there's that, but you're knocking out every tag team that's not using a big charm. Even most of the ones that do use big charm, you're knocking them out. You're knocking out every VMAX or every V. Sorry, it's big boy damage. You're powering this up in 2 turns, relatively easily. So obviously you play with Welder. The other thing you can play it with that is a little different than other fire decks. Again, I didn't pull it up. Let's pull it up real quick. Even though I don't have to, because you probably know this card by now, but some people don't as much because it's not super popular. Is Triple Acceleration Energy, which is 3 colorless energy to an evolved Pokemon, and technically VMAXs are evolved Pokemon. Just like Snorlax Vmax can use triple, so can Charizard, because that will count as your discard. So discard itself at the end of the turn anyway. So you can just do a simple welder. You can manually attach to your Charizard V, weld it for 2. Next turn, you could throw up a TCE, and then you can also, if you have the cards, you can weld it for 2 on another Charizard V. So you could get another Charizard V ready to go, get this one fully powered, and then boom, discard TCE to do 300. It's easy as turn 2, which really I don't think is going to be that hard at all. There's, a lot of Charizard decks would be able to pull off the turn 2 300 full for 6 fire, pretty easily. So I think this can do the same. It isn't evolved, so it's gonna be a little harder. You have to make a little more deck space compared to Charizard, but I think it's still pretty dang good. 330 really isn't being knocked out by a whole lot in the format. Water isn't weak to water, which isn't seeing. Frostmoth hasn't picked up yet, but we'll see how that changes. But obviously, you're gonna play this with your basic fire thing. I think you definitely play with Ninetales for sure. You also play it with. I would probably play it with Heatran GX. I think is the best GX to probably pair it with at the moment. You can maybe play with Baby Blounds, not Baby Blounds, sorry, Big Blounds GX. Pretty good. That GX tech is pretty good because you just have to kill. You can kill a tag team, you can kill a Dedenne, and you can GX for game. So I think those are your 2 options. I would not play this with Charizard itself. I don't think there's really a need with what Charizard does and with just spacing to play it with Charizard at all. You'd also probably play it with a Victini Prism. And I think you don't want to play. I wouldn't play 4 triple. I'd probably play 3, maybe even 2, because you do want welders. You don't want to clog up with the welders. And yeah, you play this with Heat Factory, probably Giant Hearth, all your typical fire stuff. The Denes, probably Jirachi's, just pretty much a standard fire take ability Zard. Add in a probably running probably a 2-3 Charizard V to Charizard V Max, maybe even a 2-2, and we'll see other fire friends. And that's how I would run it. Basically at the beginning, knowing what we know with the current format. I think it's a good card. I'm not sure if we're getting it. It's coming out in it's like a promo starter set for Japan, and I don't think we're actually going to be getting it in Rebellion Clash, because Charizard, whenever Charizard comes, he is on a pack. He is on the pack art. I think every time he's been in the set, except maybe like Team Up. But this VMAX card, I think for sure is going to be on the ETB and be on the pack art. So I don't see this coming in Rebellion Clash. If it's been confirmed that it is, I could be wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong. But we'll see. But I don't see Grimmsnarl or Charizard coming in the. I think it's probably waiting till our summer August set. But we'll see when we get a little more information as Rebellion Clash gets closer and closer. But for now, this is my look at Charizard V.